Who's here?
Satna's here.
Hi, Sadna. How are you?
Oh, good.
Good. I'm glad. Who else is here?
Jerry from Juneau.
Say that again?
Jerry from Juneau.
Oh, Jerry, welcome.
Good
welcome.
Morning.
And who else is here?
Tina Pendleton.
Marion from Memphis, Tennessee.
Marion from Memphis. Welcome. Is this your first time?
It is on a live call. Yes, it is.
Oh, good. Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
was there somebody else who was speaking that I didn't hear?
It was Tina Pendleton.
Tina, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Where are you from? Oh, no. Wait a minute. I know. You're Guru Ravi's student, and you're in Texas.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, good. Welcome. Who else is here?
Mary Gubitayo from Juneau, Alaska.
Okay, I got Juno, and now tell me your name again.
Mary.
Mary, welcome. So we have a Mary and a Marion from Juno. Welcome. And who else is here?
Rahmani and Tomas.
Oh, howdy, folks. Glad to have you. And who else? Who else? It's okay. We'd like to hear from you. Please speak up. Who's here? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you here in New Mexico, it's another gorgeous hot day. It's been really hot. I understand it's been hot across the country. Have you all found it so? What about in Juneau? Is it hot?
It's pouring down rain.
Oh, hi, Honey Munder.
Hey.
Hi, send some rain over here. It's been months since we've had any rain. Everything, the ground is absolutely powder.
Wow.
It's just like going over talcum powder. The dust is so thick. Going up to the solstice site, woo, amazing. Well, welcome. Listen, how's Lucinda?
She's doing okay. She has the angels this week.
The angels? What does that mean?
What?
She has the angels this week?
Yeah, there's 3 angels that are going around, and you have them for 5 days, and then they go to somebody else.
Oh.
So she has them in her cell, visiting her.
Oh, good.
Which is really nice.
So have you heard from her about her experience with that?
The people that the judges haven't decided yet. They're just waiting on that. And she observed a rape inside and went and told the minister, the chaplain, thinking that it was privileged information, but he or she told other people, and then there was pushback by the women that did the rape, and she was in an altercation and put into the hole for 2 or 3 days.
Oh, brother.
But the altercation was filmed or was on camera, so she said, just watch it. Just, you can see that I didn't do it. And she finally got out because they watched the film. But
hello.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. My name is Gigi.
Gigi, welcome, dear.
Thank you.
Honey Munder, what was the rest of the story?
She got out of the hole, but even reporting anything that's going on is dangerous inside. So
My goodness. God bless her.
Yeah.
Okay, for the rest of you who may not know Lucinda, she was a few years ago, she was substitute teaching, and one of the students accused her of sexual abuse, but it is suspected that the child did that because they were illegal, and if someone has committed a crime against them, then they are more likely to be able to stay here. Is that true, Hadimunder?
That's evidently what they move up in the green card list if they're the victim of a crime.
So God bless her. She is a member of our group, and we send her kindness and we send her prayers.
Yes.
And
heart
what
breath.
a huge situation she's in. God bless her. Okay, so who else is here? Okay, so that must mean that it's time to get started. So please sit straight. Oh, by the way, if anybody would like to write to Lucinda to give her some encouragement, her address is on our Baba Siri Chand Teletalk page, where you found this phone number. Okay. So, long deep breath. Palms together at the heart center. Okay, palms together at the center of the chest. Relax in your third eye point. Relax in your third eye point. Use your long, deep breath from the belly through the nose. And inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Akare Namah, Jagakare Namah, Sakare Namah, Siri Gurudeve Namah. Akare Namah, Jagakare Namah, Sakare Namah, Siri Gurudeve Namah. Akare Namah, Jagakare Namah, Sakare Namah, Siri Gurudeve Namah. Long deep breath from the belly through the nose. Relax in that beautiful breath. Relax. And now please begin heart breath. That is exhale. Feel as though the exhale is coming out of your heart center. Inhale is normal. Exhale, it feels as though it's coming out of your heart center. And now continue your heart breath. But please direct it to everyone who is listening to this call here on the phone or is tuning in by any other means, whether simply by their consciousness or they are listening to the recording at any time. Please unite this beautiful heart breath with each one in this gorgeous group. Good. Feel that unity. Feel that openness. Good. And now please use heart breath. Send your beautiful heart breath to Lucinda. Send it to Meta, who is the niece of 3 of our members who was in a terrible car accident. And to anyone else that you know who could really use heart breath. This powerful combined heart breath has such power, has such energy. So please, let's unite our intentions and the beauty of this pavan. That is a physical breath combined with prana, moving the energy of the heart center of the universe. Keep up. Do not believe you are too small to enter this. Simply be present. Total neutrality so that all can flow. Good. And inhale. And exhale. Now, before we go on, how is the sound quality? Before there was a scratchy echo. Is it okay now?
I hear echoes.
Do you want me to mute the class?
Okay.
What do you all think?
Okay.
Was that a yes or a no?
I hear a lot of static and echo.
I think we should mute. It sounds very tinny in the echoiness.
Okay, good. Thank you. And when I do this, if you want to be unmuted in order to speak, press *6 to unmute yourselves. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so Baba Siri Chand is here. And as you know, he is the son of Guru Nanak. He says, yes, I am. He says, in the fullness and in the glory. He says, it is an incredible consciousness to share in the consciousness of Guru Nanak. So he's taking us into the consciousness of Guru Nanak. He says, as you remember the entire Sikh lineage of all the 10 gurus in male form, 2 children, and the rest adults. He said they all inherited the consciousness of Guru Nanak. He says, now this consciousness, he said, it is not, he said it is not bereft to you. In other words, it's not lost to you simply because you are not one of the gurus. He says this consciousness of Guru Nanak is available to each one who accepts to share this consciousness. He says, continue your heart breath now. Continue this heart breath. He says, the most well-known pictures of Guru Nanak are of him with a white beard. He said he didn't always have a white beard. He says, but that's the normal way of representing him. He says, so now keep up with your heart breath. And move into the consciousness. He calls it the solidarity, the heartfelt warmth. That, he says, that which expunges the darkness from our atmosphere, from our world, to allow light, absolute, total, infinite light to seat within this dimension. Use your breath. Allow the consciousness of this ultimate kindness, this incredible truth, this knowing, this appropriateness, the infinity of Guru Nanak to seat within your own consciousness. He says, please feel the blessing of that. Do it now. Feel the blessing. And please feel the reliability of that now. He says you don't have far to go in this world. He says it's all there. He says it's the easiest thing in the world to relax into the consciousness of Guru Nanak. Easy, he says, because it's always with you. All you have to do is remember. He says, isn't that extraordinary? He says, you can go to the beach, read a book, and put yourself still in the consciousness of Guru Nanak. He says, as you know, the name Nanak means nothing. What that means is that we allow the everyday ego, the self-recognition, allow it to let go. He says, and when you do that, you are not lost. Oh no, my dear cherished ones, he says, you are not lost. He says, what you find is your experience. Your experience of your own existence as the all in all. That is, the all in all. He says, can you think of any more magnificent way to live? Any more magnificent way to be? He says, you are that consciousness. You are that kindness. You are that openness. Keep up the long, deep breath, the heart breath, and allow yourself to be, to float, to be this unfettered, unaltered consciousness that is all life, that contains all life, all transformation, all being. He says there is nothing but you. Nothing but you. He says, do you understand the degree of vibration that you consciously move into when you allow your everyday recognition of self to just drop like your bathrobe when you're taking a shower? Just let it drop. And be in full, in present, in conscious awareness. Just let he calls it the alter ego, let it drop and allow yourself to be in the nothingness of the infinity. Please do it now. Go deeply, please, he says. Go deeply, deeply. This is your presence. This is your knowing. This is your great undaunted self in such humility, in such grand expertise, living in the most humble of humility. It is humility because there are no thoughts from the ego, from the identity of the earthbound self, to get in the way of the experience. He says, please know who you are. Rest in Nanak. Expand in Nanak. Be the caretaker of this precious vibe that is Nanak. He says, please understand that you are not moving into the consciousness of a person. We are not deifying Nanak. We are moving into the consciousness that was embodied in that man, because this is our portal to the infinity. He says, just as you would move into the consciousness of Jesus, into the portal of infinity, through kindness and compassion, in this way we are moving into the consciousness of Nanak for exquisite truth. The truth of knowing, of being. The truth that knows no limit. And from that truth that knows no limit, we understand, we bring forward that truth into our everyday life. He says, yes, it can be done. It is done all the time. He says, let that ultimate truth now filter into your everyday life. Feel it floating, permeating. When you feel this presence, you may call it love. He says, not that Hallmark card love. As you know, we have often talked about that. Not that attached love. Not that love that expects something in return. He says, no. Love is the experience of pure existence. It is the stuff of the universal. He says, you don't make it happen. He says, you relax. You relax into the experience. You humbly relax into the experience that is present for you. Whenever you want to make the time, whenever you want to make the space, the intention to be full and wholeheartedly in that space. Understand who you are. Understand the great capacity that flows through you. understand by being fully present and simply relaxing in that truth. Use your breath. Be present. Allow yourself, your consciousness, to expand, what we would call deeper, wider. Let the limits go. Let the limits go. He says this consciousness is much needed on this earth. To whatever degree the beings of this earth can accept it. To whatever degree the beings of this earth can accept it. He says, as you know, each one of you are light workers. He says, now is your chance. We are doing this as a concentrated intention to allow this incredible light that we have found through the portal of Guru Nanak, this infinity, to merge into our own being, to open the channels, open the gateways, use your breath, open, and let it flow. Let it flow from your own, what we will call your own persona. Let the infinity flow through the channels of your own persona to feed, to nourish the beings of this earth. Do not say, oh, I am too small for this job. You are not. Regard yourself as a transforming mechanism of the earth, of the time and space that receives the infinity and then is able to move it out through the web or the lines of light that permeate this whole universe. He says, humbly, gratefully, allow this to happen. Have no judgment of whether you are too high or too low. Have no judgment. Simply let it happen. Simply let it happen. He says you can't imagine the prayer, the power of one prayerful voice. He says allow the energy, the consciousness of all the helping beings, whether in bodies or not in bodies, to move through this consciousness that you have claimed as your own, but now are opening up freely for the beings of light, for the channels of light to move through at every instance so that it may be available to this earth dimension. Please keep this up. Use your breath. Allow the light. Allow the transformation. Allow the purity and the brilliance to move through you, through the mechanism of your earth, body, and mind, but without the mind stopping anything, without it holding it. Allow the mind to be the servant of this consciousness, of this dimension, of this awareness. The mind is the humble servant, open and free. The body energy, your aura, your body, allow it, have the intention that the light moves through you like an ocean, like a grand ocean, like a beautiful, radiant sun. Allow this beautiful light to be joined into vibrant, powerful expansion, so that all of those who are inclined may avail themselves of the nourishment of this light. Feel the presence, know the presence. Open, open. The web of light is too extraordinary to be limited. It is too extraordinary to be limited. Please do not limit with doubt. Please open to the experience. When you open to the experience, that is when you know the truth. You can feel the truth. You can. The truth is known in your consciousness. Continue to open. He says, feel that nourishment in yourself as well, in every cell of your being. Know that nourishment. Know that light. Know that continuity of heaven and earth. He says, allow yourself to feel the pressure of the beloved in your chest, in your heart center. This is not an overbearing pressure, but it is though you are being held by your beloved. He says, that is your soul. That is the pure God consciousness. He says, isn't it a miracle? Isn't it a miracle to be this way station, this intermediate station of love and light? He says you get to be present, to feel, to know, to experience this incredible, he calls it a glow, but it is a glow that transcends time and space. And you get to share it. He says, and every one of you who listens to this has come to share this light. Know your presence. Know who you are. Know your purity. Know your presence. Know the presence that comes through you. And as you are ready, make the intention, the agreement, that this is your focus. Your path, your health, your relationships, your progress are all subject to this beautiful expansion, this promise of light, this truth that moves through you. Even when you run into obstacles or something that is unclear, he says, he uses the word, subjugate yourself to the light. Not to other people, but to this light. Abject humility to this light. Let your self-identity be shed so that you may live this light. When you live this light, You see all from that perspective. That does not mean that you are not cared for, that you cannot think, that you cannot operate in this world. No. He says, in fact, when the consciousness of the light moves through you, when your ego, when your everyday self, when your mind has moved over to become the servant, the very clear servant of this light, that is when your life brightens. That is when pure freedom occurs. It doesn't mean that you will not be faced with obstacles, but you have the clarity to move through the obstacles. And as you move through them, or what is often called healed through them, with love, with light, with humility to the truth of the light, he says that's where progress happens. That's where things are taken care of. Because you know intrinsically, without any doubt, that the light, the consciousness, the pure consciousness, the knowing, the knowledge, the transformation of the light is absolutely, totally present and working through you. He says, this is your destiny. Your destiny is to open, to allow the pure being of who you truly are to move through this everyday time, space, and consciousness. He said it simply takes practice. It takes letting go. He says you all have heard of letting go and letting God. He says this is it. He says in the most pure, the most raw sense possible. Be present. Be present. This is your whole being, the focus of your relaxation, if you will. The purity of your life. What you came here for. He says, what else could you have come here for? He says, when you do this, you reap the joy and the love of this consciousness. He says, have the presence, have the humility to fully allow this beautiful engine of light to move through you. From the great universal, the expanded universal, into time and space, so that it may be tasted, so that it may be felt. He says, this is the time and the age when this is so important. Be present, know yourself. Know yourself in capital letters. That is your soul, your God self. And this is your experience of the universal. The experience of the self, the God self, within the everyday self. He says, what a pleasure, what a commitment to be who you are. Know who you are. Be one and have the presence. This is your blessing. This is your knowing. Keep up the breath. Feel the experience. Feel the experience. He says, and now, dear ones, as you know, I always ask you to share the experience. This is the time. He says, now who will jump forward? Who will jump forward first with their experience, with their knowing? Who can share? Oh, wait a minute. Let me unmute you. Hold on. Let me try it again. Oh, good. Okay. So, who can share? Are you there?
Yes, here.
Oh, is that Ender? Honey Ender?
No, my name is Marion.
Oh yes, Marion.
I'm here, but I think you were asking about someone else.
No, if you're here, please share your experience.
Well, I was just announcing my presence, but yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I know for me that the greatest challenge is letting go and letting God. I mean, you know, I confess I'm a Taurus through and through, unfortunately.
A Taurus, did you say?
Huh?
Did you say a Taurus through and through?
Yes, I'm a Taurus person.
My daughter's a Taurus, yes.
Yeah, so maybe I can engender some celestial slack for that. But every time that I can let go, it is simply amazing.
What
the
happened?
rapidity and the depth at which my total surrender is
What happened? Honored.
Yeah, because I think it's just it's my recognition of the wholeness and holiness of a spirit.
Do you like it?
Do I like it? I like it. I love it, and yet my, human Taurian ability to swirl in the midst of my own wanting to do. Wanting to keep doing gets in the way of realizing how it how I don't need to do that.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, yeah. It's sometimes amazingly stupid, but yeah, it's amazing.
I want to say being a Taurus is not a bad thing, okay? In the spiritual life.
It's a very human thing.
You have a lot of energy, a lot of keep up, a lot of focus, a lot of power, okay? It just means turning around to see where the real, to recognize where the real power comes from. And then everything lightens up and gets bigger. Do you think?
Oh, I know. I'm, standing, breathing, still here because of it.
Oh, how wonderful!
Even though not to be here is fine too.
There you go. There you go. So Baba Siri Chand is quite, how can I say, adamant that all of you are facilitators of healing in this earth plane. Do you all understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. He says, so please keep up. He says, if you're listening to this call, that's what this is all about. You allow the healing to flow through you, which heals you, and you offer this healing. It is healing energy, but it is an energy of truth, openness, delight. Okay, thank you so much, Marion.
Okay, my name is Gigi.
Yes, Gigi.
That was a important phone call for me. It's the first time that I'm enjoy this phone call, and I'm dealing with things from the past that I regret and I'm not too happy. And trying to find some peace and some forgiveness for myself. So I listen to the conversation and the breathing and the and just trying to find the peace and the and you talking about something about the truth, and it's just going to that for me to recognize and to forgive myself, and so I don't know how I feel. Probably this conversation it gives me more a little more peace. And trying to get there. And purify.
What was the last thing you said?
To forgive myself and purify and I don't know. It's just trying to get all the anxiety for me and to be in peace.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you mentioned forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others in order to allow the peace to occur. That is so important. That is true.
Yeah. And the thing that I'm going to is something that I haven't spoken with a person that I did something wrong, and I don't know, I'm afraid to do it. And I'm working on that. Is
it something you have to do? That you feel that you are being led to do?
I don't know. It just this morning it came so strong to me. It's something that happened many years ago, and it's something that I did to my sister. And I don't know if we just forgive myself or just talk to her about it. And I don't know. It just.
That sounds perfect, dear. Absolutely perfect. But first, be sure that you are doing heart breath and that you are moving in this beautiful light that is available to you.
Okay.
Wonderful. And you can tune into Baba Siri Chand and Guru Nanak as you do that.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Bless you, dear. I love what you're doing. Okay, so who else can share?
Hi, this is Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
And I was just going to ask if Gigi wouldn't mind if I did some emotion code for her. Sometimes when we have experiences, traumas, we have that energy and it vibrates. And I have this energy work that Hari Mandar has taught, and we've done some together, where I use a magnet, and I can do it by proxy for her if I have her permission.
Yes.
Like just throughout the week. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Lovely. Thank you, dear. Okay, and we will all lend our heart breath to you as well. Definitely. Okay, so now who else can share?
Oh, hi, Siri Gian. This is Hari Kaur.
Hi, Hari Shabed.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Carmel, but I live in Los Angeles.
Oh, good.
And I was one of Hari Mandar's students in Espanola about 2 years ago.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
She's coming back. Are you coming back?
Is she coming back to...
She's coming back to Espanola this year for the immersion course.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love, my sister lives right near there. I'd love to make it out there.
Okay.
I should email her. So anyway, what I wanted to share with the group is I really liked what you said about how we're all light workers, but we do encounter obstacles, but just to keep going, because I feel like I have a situation with a friend of mine, And I think I actually talked to you about her. It was 2 years ago, right when it happened. She was paralyzed in a car accident, and she had a lot of anger. And subsequently, a lot of that anger was directed at me because it easily could have been me in the car, and also because I can do things. I'm running around, water skiing, snowboarding, traveling, doing all these things that she used to do all the time, doing yoga. And the sight of me, I could just see she just hated me. And she would tell her friend, like our friends, and like, oh, I can't stand her. Like she comes around, I can't handle it. And so that was really hurtful. You know, she was my roommate in college and all of this stuff. So I've been really working on this for years, right? Ever since this accident happened, because I feel like I really lost her as a friend. And, you know, it just breaks me. It was really sad just to see. I mean, I can't even imagine being, you know, a quadriplegic and being a healthy she was 28 at the time. So anyway, I've done a lot of work around this and just continued to shower her with light and love and raise money for her and do everything I can. And just recently, and it's hard, that's not easy. And so that's why I said, you know, where we encounter these obstacles, and a lot of people are like, hey, you need to just, like, don't even just cut her out of your life. Like, she's not nice to you. Why do you keep giving to her? And now I've gotten to the point where I have these, everything's fine with us now, and I have these dreams where she's walking again. And that, I'm getting emotional.
Bless you.
Just that feeling is just, I can't even explain how good it feels to have this resolution, this peace with her. Because I really do think that all the heartbreak that I'm doing is actually, it is reaching her in some capacity, you know. So I feel like this is one example of, you know, I'm new to all, like, I've been listening to calls for, I guess, 2 years now. But this is one huge example for me to see how, like, reap the rewards of all this hard work I've been doing. And so that's what I'm sharing today.
Wonderful. Thank you, dear. And I just want to say that we appreciate the fact that you could put your own fears of not being accepted, of anger towards you. You could put your own worries aside and still send the healing to her, which, as I understand, has also been healing for you. Is that true?
Definitely, and I definitely think so. I think that once you do it with one person or one situation, it's just, I feel like it'll get easier, because this feeling, like just last night I had a dream that she was, you know, walking around, and it was just, in the dream I said, Rachel, like, this is so cool. And she's like, I know, thank you, you know.
How wonderful. Wonderful. So she has been your friend in that she has been the opportunity for you to learn all this, right? To keep up and send love no matter what. Good. And that's a true lesson of the healer, or I should say facilitator of healing. God bless you, and God bless Rachel, dear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. Keep up.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time left. Who else can share?
Siri Gian?
Yes, love money. Yes.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. As usual, I'm hearing all these equivalencies between what Baba Siri Chand is saying about Guru Nanak and about us and about life and about joy with our Semitic ancestry. And I'm reminded that in Genesis, which is Bereshit in Hebrew, which means from the beginning, beginningness, the endless beginningness, which is endlessly beginning. The light that precedes everything, the light that is the first thing that happens, that is brought forth, that light that Baba Siri Chand was talking about. And in the Genesis story, it's not till day 4 that the sun and the moon are created. So we're not talking about the physical light. We're talking about the light of consciousness, which includes both the physical light and the physical darkness. It's the mind illumination. Mm-hmm. And I think it can be a little confusing because the same word is used for physical light, or the light of the sun or the light of the moon. But here we're talking about a light that is way beyond physical light because it's the light of consciousness.
Exactly. And it is experienced as pure, crystalline, powerful light. Mm-hmm. But it is light on a different vibrational level. And as I can, my observation is that light travels much faster than the speed of physical light. It is another dimension of light. So I'm very thankful that you have pointed that out. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. And
it is a light that carries consciousness. It is a light that carries all potential for creation.
Yes, and it seems instantaneously ubiquitous when it's brought in through recognition or through remembrance.
Rahmani, I don't know what ubiquitous means. Can you tell me?
Everywhere.
Oh,
everywhere.
Okay. Yes.
It becomes instantaneously everywhere through the calling of it, the invoking of it. It's like Gong Namo. It doesn't take any time at all for the download to be present when we open to it.
That's right. That is exactly right.
I also really liked how you described Pavan as breath plus prana. And in terms of the Semitic tradition, I think Pavan is the Holy Spirit. It is the breath plus the energy of universal consciousness. And when Jesus he knew he was going out of this physical dimension, he said, I'm not leaving you alone. I leave you the Comforter, which is the Ruha, the Kudsha, the so-called Holy Spirit, which is exactly that. It's the Pavan, the link with universal through the breath that is with consciousness.
Wonderful. So we're learning that these things are the truth, no matter what lineage you come from. This is the truth.
Yes, and I truly believe that for those of us that were exposed to various Semitic traditions, it helps heal the world for us to understand that the traditions that we were raised in perhaps were very unskillful in communicating these truths to us, but that our ancestors were in their native languages expressing this. And so as we recognize, like through the Gurumukhi, the truth of it for ourselves, we can then retroactively help heal our traditions of birth through understanding that our ancestors understood this as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you think all of them understood it?
Well, no, but the prophets, the enlightened ones, did.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that the essence of all the traditions is of truth.
Yes, I agree. Mm-hmm. Good. Well, thank you so much, dear. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so now will everybody come into union with each other and with this precious light as we do our closing song. Palms are together at the center of the chest. Long, deep breath. Good. And inhale to begin. May the long-time sun shine upon you. Join me. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Inhale. Nam. And bow to this beautiful consciousness of light that you are, that you fathom, and that flows through you at every instant. Bless you all. Have a wonderful week. Contemplate this, experience it, and we will talk next week. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Bye-bye.